it's Nyjah. Welcome back to my channel. So it's been a little bit of time since we've done a sit-down pre-recorded video like this, but I'm really excited to be back. Today we are going to be talking about Black Mirror, aka the Manifestation Box. Now I'm not talking about the TV show Black Mirror, but that is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about today is how they use the television, aka these black mirrors, to project timelines onto the masses. So what people don't know is that we are actually the product of the things that we have witnessed, the things that we have seen. When we are born, we are pure, we are innocent, we don't know about all the wrong that is, happening in the world. But because we watch media, we are witnessing through our portals, which aka is how we become programmed. We are witnessing bad things happen on television, in movies, in songs, all these things, and that essentially is programming us. How is it programming us? Because we collectively, human consciousness, everybody who is a real person in this world who is able to think for themselves, if we all watch the same media, okay, give it an example, let's say a movie. If we all watch the same movie, and let's say in the movie, I don't know, I'm not going to project anything, but something bad happens in the movie, and let's say a couple million people watch that movie. Well, now that we have all subconsciously stored the data from the movie, we can now create that timeline by projecting it out of our memories. So you see how you would have never, that timeline or that reality would have never happened had you not been witnessed, or had you not witnessed the thing happen. And so now, because we've all witnessed something happen, we're storing it in our memory, and now we are all acting based on our memories. Therefore, we are creating the timelines that they are projecting to us. Okay, think about all the types of crazy movies, even like the things they put on the news, because enough people collectively are watching these things. We are now creating that timeline, because we kind of like when if you guys saw the show The Simpsons, how The Simpsons was like predicting all these things that would happen. The Simpsons didn't predict all these things would happen. That was a planned and created timeline that enough people in society collectively consumed that information. Therefore, they anchored themselves on that timeline because they consumed the information, and now they're acting out what they have witnessed or what they have seen. Okay, monkey see, monkey do. So I have a few notes so I can, bring this home. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So I want to start here. The reason why they want a TV in every home in America, and not just America, across the world, but do you remember when the TVs first came out and they were like selling like pancakes? They were like, everybody needs a TV, you have to have a TV, you need to have a TV in the home, or you're not in the status quo, there's something wrong with you if you don't have a TV in the home. Almost every single home in America has not only one TV, but multiple TVs, okay? AKA multiple projection devices, okay? The reason why they wanted a TV in every home is because this is how they program the masses, okay? They are putting their desired timelines in the face of every person, and because we've all collectively seen the same thing, we are now going to collectively create that timeline because it's what we've all been exposed to. Okay, so this is the significance of why everyone's talking about like, don't watch TV, don't watch the news, stay away from the media, blah blah blah. It's because if enough people buy into the things that we are seeing, the things we are letting into our portals, our eyes are a portal, our mouth are a portal, our ears are portals, by letting this information that is inorganic to our natural programming, by absorbing this information, we are now able to play out the timelines, play out the agendas, because we are aware of what they are. We would never be participating in things that we had no idea what they were, okay? So And if you want me to if you want to hear me talk more about these timelines, I actually created a video called Timeline Hijacking, and it essentially is explaining, you know, what a timeline is, how they create timelines, and how they use timelines to anchor people onto these lesser, basically lesser realities that we would never be subject to experiencing had we not anchored ourselves into their projected timeline. So watch my video on timeline hijacking, but watch it after this. So we are mirroring the things that we see on TV, okay? We would never be aware of these realities if we did not open ourselves up to these timelines. And I'm going to give you a few examples. So do you guys remember in like like 2010, maybe even a little bit before that, but in the 2000s, when they were putting out all this information about zombie apocalypse, The Walking Dead, zombies, iZombie, like all this zombie content, right? Do you know why they did that? Did you guys see recently how is it the CBC or CNN, one of those, came out with the guidelines of what to do in case of a zombie apocalypse? Now, why on earth would a reputable news organization come out and tell people to be cautious of what would happen in case of a zombie apocalypse? They are grooming you for what their next agenda is. And in fact, all of those zombie movies, those zombie narratives, all that stuff, how we thought it was just all fun and entertainment, that really was their way of programming a lower timeline into our consciousness. We would never be aware that a zombie is even a thing until they showed it to us, and not just once, again and again and again and again. This is how programming works, and not just for one person. It's not one person watched the zombie movie and now we're creating the zombie apocalypse. No, millions of people have to be aware of this timeline. Therefore, collectively, we are creating the timeline. We are anchoring ourselves onto the timeline of what would life be like if there was a zombie apocalypse, because we have witnessed this information that we were never supposed to witness. So that's why I'm saying, like, how the TV, I'm calling it a black mirror, okay, aka a manifestation box. I'm calling it a manifestation box because through viewing these things, they are creating the manifestation of these things to occur. So how we were never supposed to experience a zombie apocalypse, but through grooming us to be aware of what it even is, they are creating that manifestation. They are manifesting through us, okay? So all the bonker things that are happening in the world right now, it is happening because they have created the timeline and they've exposed enough people to the timeline, and we had to collectively agree that that is the direction our society was moving into. Therefore, that is what we will experience. Okay, so I really hope that makes sense. I'll give you guys another example. These days right now on television, almost every single commercial has people wearing masks because of, you know, COVID, the COVID pandemic that's been going on for a year and a half, going on 2 years now, right? So why are they putting, you know, every single commercial, every other commercial is showing people with masks on? And it's like, oh, we're just trying to get you used to this new reality. We're just trying to show our solidarity. We're just trying to show you that, you know, we're still open and available even though the world is going through this. No, they are trying to program you by getting you used to the timeline where people must wear these masks on a regular basis, okay? That was never supposed to be a part of our that was never supposed to be a part of our reality, but through everybody viewing this stuff, absorbing it into our portals, we are now running off of memory, because now we have a memory of this happening, and now because we've all collectively agreed on this memory, that is the direction our society is going into. So this is the damage that these black mirrors, aka TVs, aka manifestation boxes, are causing. And I hate to be like, you know, that person to be like, don't watch TV, don't watch the news, blah blah blah, but it really is true. I mean, like, you can monitor the type of things that you choose to watch on your television, but I'm just letting you guys know, like, even if you're watching Netflix or Hulu and things like that, Can you imagine how many millions of people watch these networks? Do you see how easy it is to program somebody into going along with your agenda if the masses are aware of what your agenda is? And now that we're aware of what the agenda is, that is the timeline that we play out because we collectively agree that, yeah, that's gonna happen. Okay, so it's a manifestation box because all they have to do is project the images in our face. All we have to do is view the images, and now we are aware of a timeline that we would have never been aware of. Okay, do you see the damage that, you know, these things are causing? Watching television or watching the news and things like this, they are projecting timelines at us, and we are adapting them and consenting to them by participating. Okay, so that's why it is a Black Mirror. And I also broke down why it's called Black Mirror. So I say it's a Black Mirror, aka the TVs and these devices, because they are projectors, okay, but they are also mirrors. Okay, so monkey see, monkey do. It's called a black mirror because through seeing it, you will now do the things that you have seen. Okay, you would have never, you know, thought to do these things if you had never seen them. Okay, Black Mirror, it's a mirror. They're going to show you what they want you to do so that you will do it. Monkey see, monkey do. Okay, so we are becoming a product of the negative things that we are witnessing. Okay, so I saw a commercial the other day about I don't want to say it because I don't want to trigger the algorithm, so I'm gonna call it the shots. Okay, you know how they're trying to put shots in everybody right now? Okay, it starts with a V. They're trying to do that to everybody. They're trying to like get 70% of the population with these shots in their bodies. Like, how crazy. But I saw a commercial the other day, and I noticed that there were only Black people in this commercial, and the commercial was promoting people to get these shots. Okay, and so the question I asked was, what does this mean? That what are they telling us? What is the agenda that they're... All right, sorry guys, I had to switch cameras, so hopefully you can still see me okay. I'm not gonna let these energies stop the production. Okay, let's continue. So like I was saying, I saw on TV the other day a commercial, and they were talking about the shots, okay, the snacks and patience, the shots, right? And there were only Black people on the commercial. So I asked myself, okay, if this is a Black Mirror, aka a manifestation box, aka they're trying to program people to, you know, believe whatever it is that they're saying, what is this telling us about their agenda? What is this telling us about their agenda if there are only Black people in these commercials talking about getting shots? We want to get these people shots. What is it telling us about their agenda? Okay, this is how you have to start thinking when you see things in the media. I'll give you guys another example. There has been a massive rollout of content or movies and shows talking about space exploration to Mars. We're going to Mars, the Martians, Mars. Why are they trying to project the idea that they want people to move to Mars or go to Mars, or Earth is not safe anymore, now we have to go to Mars? You have to question all these things, okay? Question these agendas. If we know that the Black Mirror, aka the TV, aka the manifestation box, there are projecting programs and timelines at us, what does this tell us about what they're trying to do? Okay, it's not, oh no, people are just into astronauts and going to Mars now. No, what are they trying to groom us so that we can create the timeline for them? If we all collectively agree that humans are supposed to go to Mars and live on Mars and do all these things, what timeline are we creating? Okay, so ask yourself these questions. Think critically. If you do watch TV, you know, use your third eye to decode what's really going on. Okay, why are there only Black people in these commercials? Why are they trying to tell us that they want us to go to Mars? Why, you know, like, why are they showing us movies about the zombie apocalypse that in our heads it's like, no, this is not real. This is fictional. This could never happen. But because we are all now aware of the fact that zombies can be a thing, we are going to create the timeline. And I'm not trying to say, you know, like now that we're aware of it, we can, you know, change the direction of what we are creating collectively. But because we are aware of it, this is the timeline that we're creating. This is how they hijack timelines, okay? By showing us things in the media that we were never meant to be exposed to. I will continue. So, like I said, the Black Mirror, aka the TVs or the devices, are projectors or mirrors. That's why I say it's a black mirror, or the show Black Mirror. Now I want to touch on this show really quickly because I really did enjoy the show Black Mirror because everything's all futuristic and high tech and blah blah blah. But then I realized that Black Mirror legit is a black mirror, meaning that they're going to show you projections of what they want reality to be, and you as the viewer consuming the content into your portals, now it's in your memory. Now we are creating the future based off of the memories that we have of what they say the future should look like. Okay, so Black Mirror is Black Mirror because it is a mirror. Okay, monkey see, monkey do. We are seeing ourselves through these programs and putting ourselves on these timelines, if that makes sense. So I wanted to even touch on, like, it's not just movies, it's not just the news, it also is the music industry as well, or the music that we listen to, okay? Most people know this. When you sing a song, you're not just saying the words, you are creating vibration. You're singing it with your heart. You're putting your emotion behind it. Everybody knows to manifest something, you have to feel it. You have to put your emotion behind it, okay? You don't just say it, right? So that's why it's so powerful. There's so much hidden agenda in music as well. And even like think about like the black community and how it has been completely corrupted thanks to trap music and rap music and ratchetivity. Not saying that these genres of music were created out of this, but they took hold of things that black people were doing and manipulated it or inverted it to be bad, okay? So think about like how black people are like getting their entire bodies tatted up because they watched a music video and they saw people up there that had lots of money, lots of cars, they're all tatted up, have chains on, have grills on, and now subconsciously we think, oh, I have to do that, I have to be that, I have to look like that if I want to experience that luxury timeline that I'm seeing in this music video. So do you see how us being exposed to all of these negative things is in a way us manifesting that for our reality, because we would never be able to manifest these bad things if we were never exposed to it, okay? So I'll give you guys a few more examples. Think about the show Teen Mom, how, you know, it was never a glamorized thing to be a teenage mom until they made the series Teen Mom. And, you know, no shade to them because I actually really, you know, used to love that show, but I started watching that show when I was a middle schooler, okay? So can you imagine the projection, the timelines that they're trying to put on people? Do you know why they want people to be teenage parents, teenage mothers, teenage fathers? Because you do not have the sense to be the best mother or father that you could be through the years of experience that comes with being alive. If they can get you to become a teenage mother, again, no shade to anybody who was a teenage mother, who, you know, whatever the case may be, you are a product of what you have viewed, okay? So again, why do they want so many teenage mothers and fathers? Because you cannot be the best parent you can be. Not saying that you're not, you know, trying to be a good parent or whatever, but I'm just saying when you're older, when you're more mature, when you have the finances, when you're established, you drastically increase the quality of life that you give your child. The children are the future. So they want people to be teenage mothers and fathers because you're not the best, your highest potential as a teenage mother or father. Therefore, your child is not going to be, you know, as great as they could have potentially been if they grew up in a household where the mothers and fathers were established financially, intellectually, you know, they had their lives together, and then they planned to have a child and give them the absolute best because they, you know, are mature enough and grown enough to do that. So do you see why they glamorize these things like teenage pregnancies and stuff like that? Because they want you to do it, because it's easier to prey on your children when you are not the best version of yourself that you can be. Okay, let's continue. Have you noticed that there is an excess of people getting shots on television right now? Like I was at the gym and the sports channel was on, ESPN was on, and the sportscaster was on live television getting a shot in his arm. That is programming. We would have never been exposed to these timelines had they not shown it put it in our face. Okay, literally shove it in your face, like, see this, see us do this, so that you can create the timeline, so that you can anchor yourself onto that timeline. Okay, when in history did they ever show people getting shots for medical purposes? Okay, so you can already tell this is agenda, or this is programming. Because when have they ever in history had to show people getting shots on television? They're doing this now because they understand the power of visualization. Through you watching people get these things put into their bodies, you now think it's okay because you are storing the memory of what they're showing you. Okay, you're dropping onto the timeline where it's okay to get these shots because you viewed it. You would have never known it was okay to do these things if you did not see it. This is how they anchor you onto timelines. This is how they timeline hijack. This is how the manifestation box, aka the Black Mirror, works. Okay, monkey see, monkey do. I'm gonna show you people getting shots in their bodies so that you go and do it. I'm gonna show you another thing. Have you noticed that in movies and TV shows lately, the teenagers are like doing hardcore drugs? Like they were never doing these things before, but now in the shows, like even like something simple like just smoking marijuana, right? Do you notice how a lot of the shows with teenagers in it these days, they just blatantly just put it out? Why? Because monkey see, monkey do. If we show you how to roll up a joint and put it in your mouth and spark it and hang out with your friends, monkey see, monkey do, you're gonna do it too, okay? So, or even like hardcore drugs, like they have like a lot of movies out now where people are shooting up heroin. I never knew how to shoot up heroin. I didn't know how to cook it, break it down, do all these things until they put it in a show. And now I am aware of how to do these things that I was not born or programmed to do these things. But now they've put me on that timeline, or put us on that timeline, because we've now viewed it. Okay, think about all of the things that are wrong in society that we would have never known how to do if we did not view it. Okay. So this is how the Black Mirror, or the manifestation box, works, aka the television, works. Okay, they're exposing us to timelines that we were never supposed to be implanted on. Okay, so again, with the hypersexuality in the media and music videos and things like that, we would never know that that kind of stuff gets attention until we viewed it. And now we're like, how can I hypersexualize myself? How can I get the biggest boobs, the biggest butt, and the fattest lips so that people can want me the way they want that person on that show? Can you see how toxic viewing these things are? And then we all start to play out the timelines that we were never meant to be on. Okay, so I'm gonna continue. I have just a few more things I want to say. Like I said, you are born pure and innocent. Okay, think about a newborn baby, right? The baby has to be trained to do the things that it does, okay? The baby watches its parents, and through seeing the parents live, the baby begins to pick up the traits that the baby sees, okay? Again, monkey see, monkey do. To know how to do it, you must see it. To know that timeline exists, you must see it. And then you do it. You do the things that put you on that timeline. So we, in a sense, are kind of like babies, how we're born pure and fresh and innocent, and we don't know about the corrupt things and the agendas of the world. But through seeing things through the media, through television, through listening to it, by engaging with these things through our portals, we are becoming aware of these things, thus putting us on these timelines. And that is why it is so important to be the gatekeeper of your portal, or be the gatekeeper of, you know, your eyes, your ears, your mouth. Be the gatekeeper, because they are dropping the collective consciousness onto timelines simply by exposing us to things that we were never meant to be aware of. Think about like the shows where they're like in prison, and they make a shiv or a shank. Like, we never knew what a shiv or a shank was until we watched a prison video, and we're like, oh, that's how you do that. Or like, you're watching a show and someone gets mugged. You were never anxious about walking down the side of the street and you know, at midnight or in the middle of the night, until you watch that movie about somebody getting robbed or mugged in the middle of the night. And now you're walking down the street anxious because you're replaying the scenario of what you've witnessed through your portals. And through playing out the scenario in your head, you were attracting that timeline to yourself. Same goes with like the zombie apocalypse information and stuff. Because you are now aware of it, you are playing the storyline in your head, thus attracting it to you, aka the manifestation box. Okay, they're manifesting through us. They are manifesting through us. Okay, so it doesn't have to be this way. When we become the conscious, you know, gatekeepers of our portals, we take control back of what the future will look like. But as long as we're engaging in these false timelines, that's exactly what we will begin to experience, okay? All this coronavirus, pandemic stuff, we anchored onto that timeline because we were exposed to it, and enough of us believed that it was real, therefore it became our experience. Okay, so it's a manifestation box because once you've been exposed to it, you can recreate that timeline from your memory. And that's what they want. They want us to recreate the timelines that they have shown us through our memory. Okay, they want us to agree upon these timelines so that we all are anchored onto these timelines, okay? Again, watch my video, Timeline Hijacking. We have to start creating our own timelines by turning off the toxic media. This is the only way that we can break free from these strongholds. We have to, again, become the gatekeepers of our portals and start consciously creating our reality by unplugging ourselves from the inorganic timelines that they are projecting at us, okay? So turn off the toxic media, shut it down, stop watching TV, stop watching the news, even be cautious about what you watch on Netflix. This doesn't mean you have to turn into a Teletubby and say, oh, I can't watch anything, everything's scary, you know, but just consciously be aware of what you are consuming. Because again, your memories are not just your memories. We are all connected in the electromagnetic field, in the electromagnetic grid. You know how people can receive thoughts that are not their own, but they pick them up because they're vibrating at that frequency that the thought was resonating on, therefore you attracted that thought. Same thing goes when you watch these terrible things on TV or on the media, okay? Other people can pick up on these things simply because it is now stored in your memory. It is now stored in your DNA. Your children to come will be aware of things that they would have never been aware of if you had not exposed yourself to the things that you exposed yourself to, okay? So be the gatekeeper of your portals and create your own reality. I didn't make this video to fearmonger. I just really wanted people to be aware of what's going on and how we keep allowing these things to happen, okay? If you are somebody who just passively watches TV, watches the news, listens to junk music, you are a part of the problem, okay? You need to stop, okay? Put these black mirrors, these manifestation boxes away and start thinking for yourself. Start creating your own timelines, and this breaks us out of the pattern of being on those timelines, okay? So they're getting away with it because we are not, you know, aware of what we're allowing into our portals. So the moment we become aware and conscious about what we are accepting into our portals is the moment that we can change our future timeline, okay? We can anchor ourselves. And you know what's so funny? Do you know why they never show movies about like everything going perfectly right for the main character. Like the main character wakes up and they're in bliss and they have a perfect life and there's no conflict. A lot of people are like, no, there has to be conflict in a movie because it's going to be boring if there's no conflict. Wrong. It's not going to be boring. It's that we will start to live these perfect heaven on earth lives because we are not witnessing shows and television things with conflict. The reason why they have to put conflict and craziness in shows and television and stuff like in movies, the reason why they do that is so that we will start to live out that timeline. Have you ever watched a movie about like the husband's cheating on the wife and you just get so angry and mad about the situation, and then you attract a cheating partner because you open yourself up to that experience or put yourself on that timeline? It's the same exact thing. Or have you ever watched a movie where somebody got in a car accident and you just keep replaying that scene again and again and again and again in your head, and then you manifest getting in a car accident? Why? Because you are playing out the timelines that you have opened yourself up to. Okay, so we have to be aware of what we're watching. You know, the shows on Netflix, the movies, the TV shows, like everything. We have to be aware of everything, okay? So that was what this video is about. That is me breaking down the Black Mirror, aka the manifestation box, aka the television. And yeah, I really think we're going to get through this, but it's going to take the mass majority of people realizing that we are the conscious creators of our reality. Therefore, we have to stop anchoring ourselves onto timelines that have been made by people who do not want to see us succeed. Okay? Last thing, last point, you notice how like it's not so much relevant now, but like all the black media back in the day was like boys in the hood, people struggling, people getting shot up, gang related living, and you know, impoverished living. Why are they showing black people that? Why are they showing, they're saying this is your media, this is what you're supposed to watch, this was made for you, so you need to watch this. Why are they showing us this? Because they want us to continue to play out those timelines. They're not making movies about black people being luxurious and rich and living in penthouses and going on vacation. You gotta go on YouTube if you want to see that. Why? Because if they can show you a reality that is in the slums, that is impoverished, that is, you know, really bad, and you're fighting for your survival, you will think that that is normal. You will think, oh, my life is supposed to be like that because that's what all the movies show me. Okay, again, showing like representation is so important, but that's a topic for another discussion. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please thumbs it up so it lets more people be able to watch this kind of stuff. And yeah, I love you guys so much. My name is Nyjah, and I will see you in my next video.